All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I'm going to give all praise to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, Hashem Rachakwadash for the spirit to do this lesson. Double honors to the elders and apostles of that great millstone. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect. Shalom to the men of the Lord, preaching and teaching in the highways and byways in sincerity and in truth. This your brother Yirah. Coming back at you, man, with just some various news and prophecies. I'm going to just roll kind of through the spirit. I'm on that site, blacklistednews.com, which is a pretty good source to kind of get news where, Esau doesn't like, for certain narratives to be pushed on the mainstream channels like CNN or ABC or NBC. There's, obviously there's articles and stuff that come out through those mediums, but it's very guided by the left hand. And technically everything is, but you can't stop the truth from coming out ultimately, So I'm going to just roll through the spirit on some of these, man, because we're living in the times where, I was just watching the apostles and elders and Great Millstone, man, and it's like now is not the time to get weak. There are demons that hop on you, that you that you don't even want to feel like getting out of bed. You don't know, if you don't feel like doing this and that, and ultimately, I believe that's why they put out that decree to do a video every day, just to push. All right, who are the true and real sincere men of the Lord at the end of the day, and that thing is going to be found out, and the ultimate test is going to be that mark, which is what we're in the spirit of pushing. That's the major prophecy right now. Um, you know, that could be a video every day on that alone, man, because every day news is coming out about it, and ultimately that's going to be the test, and I'm just speaking through the spirit, but uh, a lot of you guys that have been wishy-washy, that have been trying to make the mark to be something else, this or that, there's a very good chance you're just gonna take it, man. You're gonna rationalize in your brain, in your mind, you're gonna deceive yourself into taking it. When the Most High doesn't give us an order to do things without explaining what that thing is or how to avoid it. And he did that first through John the Revelator, and then by the men of the Lord who were able to break these things down. And nobody else has been able to come against the mark, you know. And almost every one of these articles that you kind of scroll through, I'm gonna just scroll through real quick. They're all leading to that direction, because ultimately you guys are gonna take the mark of the beast, you 2/3, and definitely a lot of you heathen, um, before all hell breaks loose. And then that's where the major separation is going to be between the men and the boys, as they say in the world. But this is going to be the elect of Israel versus the rest of the elect. Versus the rest of Israel, Salakia. All right, there's a 1/3 remnant that they said would not bow. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna find that real quick. I believe that's in Romans, the 2nd chapter. Um, that's just a very powerful scripture. No, it's early on. It might be the 4th chapter. Let me just type it in real quick. I'm sure it'll pop up. Salakia. I want to get it real quick because, okay, there was 11, Salakia. So this is Romans 11:4. It says, "But what saith the answer of the Most High unto him? I have reserved to myself 7,000 men," and 7,000. The number 7 always really goes back to completion. It's a spiritual number. It represents totality, completion. And when you see 7 or 7,000, that's what that usually means in the scriptures. All right. So I've reserved to myself 7,000 men who have not bowed the knee to the image of Baal. All right. And where do we see image. Where else do we see the word image in the scriptures? All right, because there's a separation between you guys and the rest. All right, this is Revelation 13 and 15. And it says, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak. All right, because the image of the beast is not, it's not the physical mark. There's a delineation between the image of the beast and the mark of the beast. All right. So a lot of guys are confusing the image of the beast with the mark of the beast, when really the image of the beast, it goes hand in hand with the mark, but it's not the mark. All right. These are what guys are trying to paint these things into, because they'll try to say it's a philosophy, it's being a police officer, it's Christianity, it's an embargo, it's all of these different abstract things that you can't put your hands on. And ultimately what they're speaking about is the image, which is a completely separate thing. Now you could be destroyed, and one, I believe they go hand in hand, going with the image of the beast. You know, are there going to be guys that don't physically get the mark that's still going to be destroyed? Yeah, there are men who died in their sins already before the Marcus came out. All right, that were not of that chosen, but they were part of the image. All right, whether they were looking back on this kingdom, trying to rationalize certain things, maybe kind of secretly hoping that they could get this and that in this kingdom, and there's nothing wrong with getting paid or whatnot. But if you're hoping for this place to continue, that's a major issue with Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. All right. It says that the image of the beast should both speak, and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. All right. Then it goes into the mark, and it says, and he causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand. It says, then he caused. All right. All right. So this is separate from the image. All right. There's a separation and delineation between the two. And you guys are trying to make it, you're obscuring the major threat, which is the actual mark. If you take that mark, we know for sure, for a fact, your ass is going to be destroyed. You're going to develop a cancerous sore in your body physically. So we're going to know, even men who aren't spiritual are going to be able to tell in that day whether or not you took the mark of the beast. Because that cancerous sore is going to be in you. You know, it's going to be a plague. It's literally one of the plagues. All right. So trying to kind of going off on a tangent in that direction, but hey man, it's important, man. You know, as you know, I'm waking up trying to, you know, understand what's happening next. You know, my mind is constantly asking questions, man. You're watching, you know, and that's a good spirit to be in, and I'm grateful for the Most High, to the Most High for that, man. Hey, because I could just be a nigga, you know, and the first thing on my mind is rolling up a backwood or trying to fuck some hoes or something like that. But hey, he keeps it pressed in my memory, man. You know, in my brain, in my mind, in my spirit, and that's something I pray that the Most High never removes from me, man. You know, and you brothers should pray the same thing. Psalms 51 is a great resource to read and pray and get into, man. It's extremely powerful. But let's read a few of these articles, and whatever sticks out. You know, like I said, I'm just rolling. It says energy emergency. Texas power provider warns of rotating outages as cold weather tests limits of grid. Hey, and that's a crazy thing too, man. Because out here in Kansas City, man, like for like a week straight, bro, it's been like man, it's been under like 7 degrees for an entire week. You know, this weekend, man, it's been between 1 degrees and -2 degrees, man, almost the entire weekend. That is, when I was driving yesterday, man, I put my windshield wiper fluid on. Right now, when you're driving, the wind is hitting the windshield. I put the windshield wiper fluid on, and I literally saw, it was so cold outside, I literally saw that windshield wiper fluid start to crystallize. You know how a snowflake looks in the six different hexagonal shape or hexagon shape. You literally start to see the water on the windshield crystallize before the windshield wiper even wiped it off, man. That's how cold it was. The water was freezing that quick and out of that windshield wiper fluid. You know, and it begs the question, man. Like, we know Esau likes to manipulate the weather. We know he has the technology to do that. I believe there's an Air Force ad advertising that they can do these things. But what it made me think of is I believe it's what Yahweh Shai said, is like, pray your flight is not in the winter. I looked this up before too. Um, right. All right. This is Matthew 24. This is going into the time of trouble, which some guys say that there in the time of trouble, which is nonsense. It says, "Woe unto them that are with child, and to them that give suck in those days. But pray ye that your flight be not in the winter, neither on the Shabbat." All right, because the winter, man, if Esau were to cut down the power grid this weekend, a lot of people would have just died, man. Straight up, it was that cold out here, bro. Like, if the power grid shut off and there was no heat and you didn't know what you were doing, you didn't have firewood ready, uh, ready with the fire pit or something like that, you would die, man. That your body is 70% water, all right, and if water's freezing that fast on the windshield, a breeze could come through and do a lot of damage to you, man. It's like, some video games, you got a frost mage. It's like a frost mage, a wizard hit you with that frost spell. That's how cold it was. You know, and Esau, everybody's gonna have their test at the end of the day. That's what it boils down to. Trump acquitted in the second impeachment trial on charge of inciting January 6th Capitol. This is all nonsense. Eventually, this is gonna come to Israel. They're gonna paint you niggas out to be to be part of inciting riots and the T word. Domestic. Insurgents. I'll just say that. Study finds CDC inflated the Novid, the Crown Royal numbers by 1,600%, and which we know this, man. There ain't no way, This is all just this TV propaganda, and a lot of you jakes are falling for it. A lot of those guys died in nursing homes. You know, it's not even in hospitals, and a lot of them are dirt old, man. The scriptures say, after 70, really, those are bonus years, man. Your strength is supposed to yield out completely around the age of 70. So a lot of these guys who are dying, they're above 70 in their 80s. A lot of them. So you have to question what is actually killing them. They didn't bring up how the flu takes out people, tens of thousands of people every year, and it's all older folks. It says ammo company demands Salakia customers checkbox saying they did not vote for Joe Biden to purchase rounds. It's just left right political nonsense. And the GOP for impeachment trial. Yeah, this all witchcraft. This is the war on privacy. These culture warriors are collectively making a clear statement. Personal privacy is dangerous. Official secrecy is not. All right. So, because ultimately they already have all of your data. You can't really hide anything from Esau. Every computer you log into, he has access to all of it. You're deluding yourself thinking you are searching and doing things on the internet that he doesn't know about or at least can't get access to. And that's part of the issue why this man has to go down, Conspiracy theories are caused by government secrecy, CIA's brazen collaboration with dangerous extremist factions seeking to topple Damascus, and its equally brazen refusal to provide the public with any information about the extent of its involvement in Syria from the earliest stages of the violence, and they're never going to tell you what's going on with Syria because ultimately Esau is trying to take over, man. He's been trying to get Syria off the map for decades. All right, starting with the 1948ers over there, they're literally trying to take over, man. You know, and that whole debacle with Syria, that's gonna when it says the least of the flock is gonna draw them out. I'll get there real quick in Jeremiah. I believe it's 51. Uh, it might be 50, 49 or 50. I get them confused a lot, but it's toward the end of the chapter. Um, let's see, maybe Jeremiah 50. But Israel's gonna get this whole thing popping, man. They're bombing the shit out of them niggas in Gaza, which a lot of those are Jakes, those Palestinians. Um, and causing mischief. You know, they killed that. They had something to do. They're blamed for. I'll just say, for what happened with that guy Soleimani in Iran, and they've been wanting war with Syria. You know, they're just you know they're a problem, man. You know, why can't I see these? I must be missing them. Yeah. Okay, it was. I'm gonna go to Jeremiah 50 and 45. It says, therefore hear ye the counsel of the Lord Jehovah, that he hath taken against Babylon and his purposes, that he hath purposed against the land of the Chaldeans. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitation desolate with them. At the noise of the taking of Babylon, the earth is moved. And when that says the earth is moved, that's talking about that thermonuclear destruction, man. You know. So when the least of the flock draws them out, that's World War III. That's when those missiles are gonna pop off, man, and it's gonna completely and utterly destroy this place. This is why we preach fear the Lord, fear the Lord. All right, repent. You know, this is an act of love, whether or not you like our choice of words or our forward speech or not. You know, it's still an act of love, nevertheless. Researcher discovers that men are slowly losing the capacity to procreate, and I was gonna do a lesson about how the testosterone levels are dropping rapidly, at a record pace, you know. But Lord willing, I'll get on that this week, you know. But Esau's been trying to destroy you, man, through the food, through the air, through these different philosophies. You know, he wants you to be a beta male, basically. You know, he's encouraging you to do things that are contrary to the natural order of things, how the Most High set things up. You know, for the sake of this is more pop culture, Gina Carano or whatever. Um, Attenborough, David Attenborough, I believe he's the guy that does the Planet Earth narration and some of these natural wildlife. Esau gets in with the camera in 4K in slow motion. He's filming shit, you know. Yeah, yeah. Perfect Planet is one of the series that he does. He says humanity is a plague upon the earth. Well, we could have told you that, man. You know, through the scriptures, it says, destroy him which destroyed the earth. Revelation 11 and 18, I believe, and it says, and the nations were angry, and thy wrath is come, and the time of the dead that they should be judged. And David Attenborough is just one voice representing what a lot of people feel, which is that this guy is off the chain. He's been, you know, he's poisoning everything, you know. He's chopping down trees at record rates. I believe a lot of these wildfires are intentional. All right. He doesn't care. He stomped out all the buffalo in the 1800s. no telling what effect that had on wildlife. In that Yellowstone area, in the plains, in the Great Plains of America. They had a video or similar to like a Planet Earth type of thing where the wolves, I believe it was the gray wolf that came back in a certain region, and those wolves coming back completely reset the ecosystem. He's doing genetically modified mosquitoes because people are getting bit. Well, if you follow the laws, statutes, and commandments, man, what to eat, what not to eat, these things balance themselves out. Even things in the ocean are connected to things on the land. There are things on land that eat things in the ocean. Think about eels and birds. Those things all get filtered through the ecosystem. All right, so you're fishing shrimp and crawfish and lobster out of the ocean by the billions every year. These things offset what the Most High created. But let me finish this verse. It says, "And that they should give reward to thy servants, the prophets, and to the saints, and them that fear thy name, which are the elect of Israel only, and small and great, and shouldest destroy them which destroy the earth." All right, so the nations were angry and they want to destroy them that destroy the earth, but they're part of that race, and the Most High believes in collective punishment. All right, so you can't just say because I'm an Edomite and I'm mad at another Edomite for what they're doing that you somehow get uh, absolved. Like, no, every one of y'all have to go into slavery, and that's just the bottom line of it, man. You know, that's just the bottom line. As it said, Stone Cold Steve Austin would say, and that's the bottom line because Stone Cold said so. This is Isaiah 14:8, and actually in the same chapter, I'm gonna get that same thing I was just talking about. It says, "Yea, the fir trees rejoice at thee, and the cedars of Lebanon saying, Since thou art laid down, no fellow has come up against us." All right, so these even the fir trees are gonna rejoice, and because you, uh, David Attenborough, and whoever Edomites and other nations that are upset now that you're seeing uh, death prevail over life, which is what going against the law is. Now you're calling these things out, but you're a part of that, man. You were for this whole thing. Y'all took over Europe. Thousands of years ago, you took over America, and now you claiming this land, and you're bold and prideful about quote unquote your land, but you stole this land. And now look at what the people who you've allowed to be in charge, your own people, look at what they've done. All right. But what's to become of you? This is Isaiah 14:21 in that same chapter. It says, "Prepare slaughter for his children, for the iniquity of their fathers, that they do not rise nor possess the land, nor fill the face of the world with cities." All right. So y'all right now, y'all fill the face of the world with cities. And everywhere you go is death, it's pollution and wickedness, whether it just be, abominable acts and philosophies. Y'all are the plague. All right. When he says humanity is a plague upon the earth, what he should replace that with is Esau is a plague upon the earth. You know. So this is not the time again to get weak. We're in a time of prophecy, man. So uh, Lord willing, I'll come back again. I'm gonna cut it short, but Lord willing, I'll come back with another part to this, just to dive in through the spirit, man, because it's good to uh, to put these things out there for the body, man. Because Esau is constantly his aim is to confuse you, or it's to guide you down a way that's going to destroy you. When you just watch the news media, if you were to take what those guys say at face value, man, you would be completely led down the wrong path. And it's no wonder that he's trying to silence, the truth on YouTube. Various algorithms, terms and agreements and and different policies that they have, and what you can say, what you can't say, what you can speak on, what you can't speak on. It's completely obvious. So, with that, hopefully our brothers were edified. Call halal Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai Bahashem Rachakwadash. Shalom wa abad ball.